Is the Umidigi A3 Pro still worth buying 6 months later? Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about that. Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, and this is the Umidigi A3 Pro. Now, this device has been out for quite a bit of time, and this is the first time that I've ever featured it on my channel. But I know it's still a really hot seller for Umidigi, and a lot of people have been asking about it. So I picked this up, and I'm excited to do full coverage of it, and also compare it to some of its major competitors out there. Now, currently, the Umidigi A3 Pro is for sale for $99.99. Now, I've seen it listed for prices higher and lower than that, but it seems like the $100 price tag is kind of the consistent price that it's been listed at. If you're watching this video though, on May 21st or May 22nd, Umidigi is actually doing a massive sale on AliExpress, so you could potentially pick this up for a pretty big discount. Just take a look at the link in the description to see the current pricing for the device. So I've been using this for a few days now, and I put my Cricket SIM card in it, which we'll be doing a speed test of in a second here. But overall, I am really impressed with this phone so far. I'll tell you what, when I first heard that the device has a MediaTek MT6739 processor, I really was not very excited about it. But using this device has been a pleasure. It's actually been decently quick, and I think the reason for that is mainly because this device has 3 GB of RAM. Now, I'll be doing a separate video comparison comparing this device to the Blue Vivo Go, which also sells for $99, but essentially this knocks that out of the water. I'll tell you that, that's for sure. And I think the RAM is really a big part of that. Umidigi really knocked it out of the park with the design and build quality of the A3 Pro. So running along the side of the device here is actually a metal band, and it feels really premium and high-end, and it's really surprising that they're able to include that on the device considering that it's only $100. Now on the back side, it kind of looks like it's glass. I'm not sure if it's glass or plastic, but it does have kind of a polished coating on the back side here. And overall, it just looks super clean and looks very similar actually to the back of the iPhone XS. The Umidigi A3 Pro features a 5.7-inch display, and it does have a notch, as you can see here on the top. Now the notch is decently large and does stick down quite a bit, but still, I think it looks fine. It's a very good looking design overall for the front here. There is a decent sized lip on the bottom as well, but at this price tag, you're gonna have to make some compromises. The display resolution for this device is 720p, and it comes in at a 19:9 screen ratio. Now, even though this is 720p, the display itself does look really sharp. Everything looks super crisp, and honestly, if this was 1080p, I would believe it just because of how clear everything looks on here. So if you're looking for a device to browse the web, watch movies, you're gonna have no problem with the Umidigi A3 Pro. The device features an 8-megapixel front-facing camera, which I'm going to be testing out soon. I've tested it a little bit, and so far it definitely looks good. Internally, we have 32 gigabytes of storage with the ability to expand that with the microSD card. This device is also dual SIM compatible, so if you want to, you can put 2 different SIM cards in it. Now for me, I only have 1 SIM card in it, and that's my Cricket SIM card, but if you wanted to basically combine 2 phones in one, you could put 2 SIM cards in this phone. So let's say you have a work phone and a personal phone, you can combine both of those into this one device. There is no wireless charging with the Umidigi A3 Pro, but it does have a fingerprint sensor here on the back. It's not the quickest or most accurate fingerprint sensor that I've ever used, but it is still cool to see that there is a fingerprint sensor included, especially at this price tag. Now also on the back we have dual cameras here. And we have a 12-megapixel main camera and a 5-megapixel secondary camera. So by having these dual cameras, you can take photos with the bokeh mode if you wish. And the bokeh mode is kind of like portrait mode on the iPhone. So as I mentioned before, the device has 3 GB of RAM. That's really awesome to see. And it does have the MediaTek MT6739 processor, which isn't really anything too special. But as I mentioned before, having the 3 GB of RAM paired up with this processor really does bring the most out of the processor. Because I feel like other devices that have the MT6739 but have a lower amount of RAM, whether that's 2 or 1 GB of RAM, kind of do limit the performance of the device just because of how low the RAM is. So with the Umidigi A3 Pro having 3 GB of RAM, it really greatly increases the performance of the device. Now, video recording with this maxes out at 1080p at 30 frames per second. We get a 3,300 milliamp hour internal battery with the phone, which is certainly good to see as well, considering that this is such a cheap device. And the software is Android 8.1 Oreo. I have no idea if or when it's going to be updated to Pie. If I had to guess, they're probably not going to update it to Pie, because usually with these cheaper phones, there just isn't a budget for adding software updates down the road. So pretty much what you get with it out of the box is what you're stuck with. Now, with some of Umidigi's other devices, they do have software updates coming on the way to improve the cameras, but it seems like so far, what I've noticed with the A3 Pro is that there is no need for improvements to the camera with the software. It seems like as things are right now, the cameras are well optimized, so you're gonna have no problem with taking good looking photos, especially compared to other devices in this price range. So, as I mentioned before, I'm really excited to get out there, take some photos around my town, and post those on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab. So if you're going to be using this device in the United States, you're going to have to make sure that you're using a GSM carrier. So this will work fine with AT&T and T-Mobile, as well as Cricket and Metro by T-Mobile. So if you use those carriers already, then you're golden. This device is factory unlocked, so you can switch between GSM carriers at any time. Now I do want to show you a speed test with this device using Cricket. So I turned off my Wi-Fi, and I'm going to go over to the speed test app, which I downloaded from the Google Play Store. Now there is a 4G tower, like literally 100 yards from where I'm located right now. So the speeds I'm going to be getting are probably the best that you're ever going to get with this phone, with Cricket. So let's get this going. All right, so I'm going to tap on go. And we'll see how fast the speeds are. Okay, looks like we're around 10 megs per second, going down to 8 right now. Now we're down to 7. So around 7, and that's typically, okay, so it looks like our final download speed is 7.41 megabits per second. That's pretty standard with Cricket. I mean, that's not really any different from what I've noticed with other devices. I've also been using my Cricket Sim quite a bit with my Pixel 3a. Okay, and the upload is about the same as well. So the upload is 7.82 megabits per second. So Cricket does indeed work well with the Umidigi A3 Pro. It's nice and quick, especially for Cricket. Of course, if you use a different carrier, you might get faster speeds, so you have to keep that in mind. Now, a lot of people have been mentioning that with some of the Umidigi devices, you can get better camera performance with open camera. So if you want me to, I'll put out a different video where I compare the photo quality with the normal Umidigi camera app and the photo quality from open camera. Now, from what I've noticed personally, it seems to be about the same. Now, that's only though with the Umidigi A3 Pro. I know that people have been especially using open camera with other Umidigi devices, such as the S3 Pro and the F1. So I've noticed that at least with the Umidigi A3 Pro, using the open camera app gives you about the same results as the normal camera app. I also want to show you how Instagram works with the Umidigi A3 Pro. Now I'm also going to turn on my Wi-Fi here because I don't need to burn up all of my data for this video. So we'll get that Wi-Fi going. All right, we're all connected with the Wi-Fi. And Instagram works really well here with the device. So you'll have no problem scrolling through here. It's pretty quick. Not the quickest ever, and some things don't always catch up in time, but it's still very usable. We'll play some stories here. So stories are nice and clear. You can see how crisp and clear that image is through the display here. So a lot of good stuff with using the Umidigi A3 Pro with Instagram. So if you're a big Instagram user, then you should be very happy with the Umidigi A3 Pro. I'll go over to my profile here and take a look at that. There is a little bit of glitchiness though, and I've noticed this actually with other Android devices as well. I'm not sure why things are like cut off right here. And also it seems like there's a little black bar right above this photo. I don't understand why, but it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, it is usable. I think just a little bug that Instagram needs to take care of. But you can see that things are very clear here. There's me. Overall, the Instagram experience with the Umidigi A3 Pro is really good.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin, and this is Stefan from TechRite, and we've both had some quality time with the new Umidigi A3 Pro.
So video looks really clear on this device. This is of course a YouTube video, and I had the speakers cranked up at their full volume, and of course, the speaker quality certainly isn't as good as what you'd find with a flagship device such as the iPhone XS or the Galaxy S10, but still it sounds really good. So I'm definitely happy with the speaker quality with the phone. And videos, as I mentioned before, look nice and crisp and clear. So this is a solid device for watching videos. And overall, I'm just really shocked that this device is available for $99.99. I think it is a great device. Honestly, probably on par with many $150 devices that I've used recently, if not better than that. So there's a lot of things to like about the Umidigi A3 Pro. So I realize this device is about 6 months old, hence the title. And even though it is a little bit older, I still think it's very competitive. It's a very good device from Umidigi. And I think if you decide to go with this, you'll be very happy. One of the other things too is that since this isn't necessarily the latest and greatest from Umidigi, they've already had a chance to iron out all of the bugs. So you're going to get a very nice and refined experience with the phone. So it's going to be nice and speedy, nice and quick, and everything's going to work really well. Of course, I'm going to be making more videos about this device in the future, but so far I'm really happy with it. I think it's a really great option as of late May of 2019, and I'm expecting it to remain competitive at least through the summer. Now I am going to be doing some comparisons on the channel here, comparing this device to some of the other phones that I have, including some of the other Umidigi devices that I currently have, such as the Umidigi F1, Umidigi F1 Play, and the Umidigi S3 Pro. I know there's a lot of enthusiasm about Umidigi here on the channel, and because of that, I plan on focusing even more on Umidigi devices, and of course I'll be focusing on other budget devices out there as well. But I know that people are really big into these budget, unlocked phones under the $300 price tag, so I plan on doing more and more videos about devices like that in the future. But this is Kevin here. I hope you enjoyed this video about the Umidigi A3 Pro. Let me know what you think of the phone and if you would consider buying it, or if you've already bought it, let me know as well. I'm really interested to know what everyone's opinion is about this device, and I'll see you in the next video.